Yesterday, as part of the Matchbox 5-pack preview I showed you this Dodge Charger Pursuit. It's the latest version from Matchbox, Texas Highway Patrol Deco. And I mentioned how much I love this casting and how much I love all of the releases that they've done of this casting. And I said I would probably do a feature on it. And I think it's about time that I do it. So I've got all of them lined up. We're going to walk through them right now, plus walk through the older Dodge Charger Police casting. Fair enough? Let's get to it. All right, here we go. We will start with the Texas Highway Patrol Dodge Charger Pursuit one more time. It is from the Texas Rangers 5-pack due in the next month or two from Matchbox. I love this casting. I think it's so well done, and I'll show you some of the details as we work through all of the different releases. But before we do that, we have to go back to the original Dodge Charger from Matchbox, the one done before this casting. All right, we start with this. This is the Dodge Charger from 2007, I believe. It was originally released in 2006 in red. This was the second color from the 2007 main line. We saw it in several colors like this, just plain street colors. That was what it was originally done for. You can see no roof light, nothing. This was not a police car. But after a few releases in plain street colors, all of a sudden, a police car emerged. I could be off, but I believe this is the first release of the Dodge Charger in a police deco. This is the Brazos County Sheriff. It was from a 5-pack. There's actually two variations on this one with the 6-spoke wheels and one with the 10-spoke wheels. But this was, I believe, the first time it was done in a police deco. And then from then on, that's all we saw. So we saw this one. Then it pops into the main line in Auburn Hills Police deco. You can see they didn't modify the casting at all. If you look at the interior, it's still totally street car. Obviously no lights on the roof, but they just started making the casting more interesting. I only collected one or two plain versions of the Dodge Charger, but I collected all the police versions. I thought it made a better police car than it did a street car as a Matchbox. Third police deco, Hummelstown Police. I believe this is also licensed. Black and white classic deco, and this time instead of the sporty kind of wheels, now we start seeing the tri-spokes looking very police-ish. And that continues with the California Highway Patrol. Tri-spoke wheels, has a little bit of a more utility look. Shreveport Police, I believe this was also a mainline release. I could be wrong, maybe one, I don't think this one, I think this one was mainline. I think one other one was a 5-pack. But this one is a mainline release. Next is Elk Grove Police. It's cool to see the diversity of the decos, and it's fun to put these cars together. So this was the last version, done in, this time, an unlicensed deco. I think the first time it was done in an unlicensed deco. The first time it was done in blue. Looks good, part of a 5-pack. But I still think that the clamoring for a real Dodge Charger police car, I think a lot of collectors kept saying, this is great, we love the decos on this, but there's still some elements missing, like a light bar, like some other details, and so I think it was time for Matchbox to come back and release a new Dodge Charger, which they did. And here is the first version, released in 2012 or 2013 in the Matchbox basic range. You can see it's an unlicensed deco, but pretty standard for a local police car. And what's funny is with all the cool releases that we've seen since, this is probably the weakest from a deco and color standpoint. But there is one big exception about this model that the other models don't have, and that's a separate light bar. When the model was first developed, they actually put the separate light bar like they used to do. You can see that this one is red, the windows are white, but since then all police cars have had the light bar be part of the window piece to save money. So in order to keep doing this casting, they had to modify it. So the second mainline release we saw has the new light bar. You can see this one is part of the window piece. Here I'll go kind of close up for you. You can see it's just part of the windows. This is the Boone County Sheriff. I'll show you the close-up of the old version. You can see it has a separate piece that's attached to the roof. Now, I know that's kind of a bummer. It's not as detailed, but this is one of my favorite releases. Boone County Sheriff. You can see how clean the deco is, how sporty it is, and I love that they use the 5-spoke wheels on this one. Albuquerque Police. This was done for the Albuquerque Matchbox Gathering of Friends Convention, which is always done in Albuquerque. So you can see this one is in full deco, not only sides, but rear, which shows those signature taillights on the Dodge Charger, front, and even the roof. Show you the roof real quick. Looks pretty cool. Anyway, this one was done in limited numbers. It was just a convention model, but done in full deco, and that's the most complete version of the Dodge Charger. A couple of years ago, we saw this released in 2 colors. This was the first version in a matte black. Because it's a very current Dodge Charger Pursuit, you can do current-like decos, and that's what they've done. So this is St. Ursula County. I don't think is licensed. Maybe you guys can correct me on that. There it is in blue, State Trooper, Matchbox County. Recolored and redecoed completely. So these are 2 models from the same year, but they just actually did a completely different version. Okay, this is the 3rd model released that year. This is from the Skybuster set. This is those sets that contain 3 main lines plus a Skybuster airplane. This set was actually pretty hard to find. So outside of the Albuquerque exclusive from the Gathering, this is the hardest Dodge Charger Pursuit to find because you have to get it as part of the play set, mostly found in grocery stores, that sort of thing. I think I saw one in a gas station, to be honest. 10-spoke wheels on this one. It actually works fairly well. Still unlicensed police deco on this. Adlar 58, that means Michael Geralda designed it. It's kind of fun to put these together and see how different they all look, right? And that's this one, the NYPD Dodge Charger Pursuit from the NYPD 5-pack. It was such a surprise when Matchbox dropped this 5-pack a couple of years ago, with every model sporting an NYPD deco. That is something that collectors had been asking for, was an entire pack with every deco being the same, and it was even better that it was NYPD. That's what the Texas Rangers will be now. This is a great one. 5-spoke wheels on it once again. You can't go wrong with the NYPD deco. So it is definitely a keeper and probably, I would say, the most popular of the Dodge Charger Pursuits. Anyway, there you go. Dodge Charger Pursuit. Quite a few of them, plus the Dodge Charger from before. Very much worth collecting. Check them out on eBay. See what you can find. And look for this one very soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.